And a one fish, two fish. And a one fish, two fish. And a red fish, blue fish. And a one fish, two fish. And a red fish, blue fish. All right, I got a little distracted just before stream, so I'm running a little slow. So no cartoon. All right, I got a little distracted. Oh, and I'm still echoing. Hold on, let me check YouTube. Let's get over it. Let's put YouTube over there for just a second. Let's bring up. And I got a copyright notice again for playing another public domain cartoon. So I'm going to have to file another dispute with that one because apparently Disney replayed it again in some other series and says, hey, we own the copyright. No, you don't. It became public domain. Oh, and I don't have my chat going. Dang. I have a tester complaining that my an outfit doesn't work with Genesis 8.1, even though I don't list 8.1 as a supported figure. So I'll take a look at that a little bit later. They also say some morphs are missing, but I think they're just in the wrong piece of clothing. Let's get the chat launched here. I don't know if there's anybody here. It says I got 3 viewers. 2 of you might be bots, though. Anyhow, if anybody's saying anything, I've missed it so far. let's make sure the YouTube is sounding okay. Saying anything, I've missed it so far. let's make sure. Okay, YouTube sounds okay. The YouTube is sounding Nobody's okay. Saying anything. I'm going to close that down. Okay, I don't need to look at that stuff. I'm not sure what I'm doing today. Let me take a look at my list. I'm nearly done with the outfit I've been working on. The Arden outfit, I think. But let's take a look at the list and see. Maybe I'll take a look at where I am with a couple of other things. Where's my planning projects? There we go. So Elven, that ended up being Elven Scout. That's going to be, and I redefined the, dang it, I'm trying to just select this stuff. I'll call it Arden outfit in process. Let's do that. Let's pull you out a little bit. Okay, that's been submitted. Let's see. I think maybe we'll work on the Letterman. Actually, let me look at the hoodie. I want to look at the hoodie. I'm thinking, I want to see how to maybe set up the cords. I sort of have a hoodie started. So actually, let me finish up the shoes for Letterman. We'll do that. I've got some penny loafers started for that. So let's work on that a little bit today. And then I can figure out what the tester at Daz is whining about. No, well, not whining, but I am. We'll see if I can fix it or if I just have to tell them that they're not reading the description properly. So what are we doing? I'm opening up Blender. There's Blender. The file, let's do an open. We're not going to say that. Let me see if I can remember where. I think you're in the 50s somewhere. So let's go look for the 50s folder. You know what? I got to sort by name. 50s. Do we have Letterman in here? Yep. whip. Do I have the penny loafers? There we go. We'll pick that up. And that's kind of where I left off. I think I got as far as adding the heel on this. And then we're going to put a sock in here. So let's see. If I change the color of that, we'll put you over to there so I can actually see color changes. And change the color of that. Is good. And is the other one the sock then? That is the sock. Okay, we're going to do, so we're going to detail this out. Let me go find, that's a nasty looking tweak there. Why are you, oh, I see what it's doing. I probably should just drop a try through here. Will that fix it? Or will it still? There we go. That does fix it. Okay. Yeah, we'll just do that. I know I want to increase the thickness on that. We need to put some of a part of an interior on there. I'm going to remove maybe a bit more of the sock. If I hide that, do I have a full sock down here? I don't. You know, I probably don't need all of this sock down in here, do I? Actually, I do, so maybe through here. Maybe I remove this portion down. Delete faces, Alt-H. Yeah, I think that'll actually be good. Control-L, delete. That should do the trick. Did I lose a face there? What the farfignugan? We'll just have to fill that back in. Can I just back this up? I cannot. I screwed it up. Let's go this way. Let's try this again. And apparently I got a hole in the sock. I think we can fix that. I wonder if I just accidentally did that now or that happened earlier. Why are you not? You should form a face. Why are you no form face? Let's just make sure. And now let's see what we got going on here. 1, 2, 3, right? If I hit F. Nope. Let's hide this foot and try to figure out why that will not make a face. 1, 2, 3, F. How peculiar. What if we go into point mode? Can I make a face now? No. What if I just choose 3? And what if I just choose these 3? And for some reason you're... Oh, the normal is... How peculiar. All right. I'm going to convert that to a quad in a little bit. But here, we have to do this in baby steps. For whatever reason, when I make a face here, it's the normal is flipped around goofy AF. So we'll just flip those around. Mesh, normal, flip, should be good. What is going on over here? Why did I not have you selected? You... What the frick? Do I have smoothing turned on or something? Is that what we got going on? I do. Let's take that off and see if this makes any more sense. And I'm in edit mode, and I'm going to select 3A, and we'll just smooth out the normals. I'll just reset the vectors. Then we'll see if we can go back. And does that do anything for allowing me to fill that in now? Nope. Charles going to warn you. Chris, I'm going to warn you ahead of time. No worries, buddy. Thanks for popping in and saying hi, though. Okay, so why are you flipped? You're not flipped. I flip you and you're still... What is going on here? My mesh is being funny. I hate it when this happens. They should be relatively easy, but something is amiss. Maybe I can just delete out these edges and I'll leave the only edges and faces, right? And then see if I can just fill in faces like that. Oh, I know what's going on. The materials are weird, that's all. I'm going to do that. I think maybe it's just a material assignment. Let's try that. Control L. Let's make sure all of this is assigned to the same material. That was my problem. Okay. And then we'll just convert these to quads. Triangles to quads. Triangles to quads. Somewhere in here. There we go. That's going to be fine. I think 1, 2, A. Let's clear all the sharps. Should be good. Alt H brings everything back. This is looking fine. I probably still want to pull this back a little bit, so let's put a little proportional editing on here. And let's do the not connected only. And we'll run through like that and that. And we'll just pull that back a little bit. I'm going to undo that. I'm lowering my fall off. So we'll just pull that back so it's a little bit off the sock. Probably good. I got a weird, is that just because of the lack of, oh, you know what? I've got this weird sharp through here. Did I want a weird sharp through there? Let's go take a look at a penny loafer and see what I need to do. Penny loafers for men. I'm going to say 1950s penny loafers because they look a little bit different. We'll go to images. You know what I think I do? I think I do not need this crease right through here. That's what we're, here, we'll take a look at that. Put that into the new tab. So that's what I'm going to do. I've got a crease right through here that I don't need. We'll clear that up. I want to put kind of a ridge through here. I think I want to show more of the sole, so I think maybe we'll make that a little bit shorter. And yeah, let's start with this. I want to select all through there, and we want to clear the sharp on that. And then I want to kind of tweak and smooth. I'm thinking maybe I should have a, I'm going to try to improve this a little bit. Nope. Let's do a Knife. And I'm going to just run that through here. And then I'm just going to run this through here, kind of like that. And I'm probably going to clear these up. I think I'm going to, I don't know, let's maybe relax this a little bit. Or at least flatten it out a little. So I think I'm going to drop this through here. I'll probably put a try right about in here. Probably smooth this out. Okay. I'm going to run you through there. We'll dissolve out a couple of these edges. These things here. I'm going to rebuild that out. Let me see. Can I just dissolve edges? And then I got to... Yeah, then maybe... Run you like that. Scale X. Yeah, I'll just do this. I'll just knife that. Maybe up through there. We're getting there. Something like that. So at some point we are going to start adding thickness to this. And I need to put a spot in here that we're going to put a little slot in that we can add a coin. And I'm definitely going to take this up one level at some point. I should probably grab those and then pull them out with this stuff. All right, let me pop over the sculpting. I am in sculpting. What the hell? I can't see what I'm doing. Let's switch over to one of the matte cap modes. Is that over here? Oh no, they're over. So okay, I'm remembering. I'm barely remembering what I want to do. I don't know. Let's try that. All right, let me put a hard crease in. Are you not a hard crease? Yeah, you are a crease. Why do you not look like a crease when I go into sculpt mode? Because it's just evil that way. It might help if I put my sub D view back up a little bit so I can kind of see. Yeah, I need to just pull this all out and have that a little bit smoother on the front. That's the way they're really built. So if I click, can I click from there to there and grab everything in between? Kind of. And can I get all of that? A little bit. And can I just pull, except, yeah, I still have the, okay, pull that, but we'll just kind of do that a bit. Smooth that a little bit. Maybe pull that out a bit more. That a little bit more. All right, back to, I'm in edit mode, back to sculpt mode. And if I hit the shift key, oh, that kind of does what I wanted to do. A little bit larger, although I want that smoothing to be a little more gradual. Over here, where's the smoothing tool? Yeah, let's set you to like 0.2. Yo, Matthias, how are you doing? Have never made, you haven't? I do occasionally. Every, I don't know, there's a fair number of shoes I do. So I'm trying to do penny loafers for a 1950s Letterman outfit. I'm just not liking the direction I'm heading in, though. My toe is just looking weird. Maybe I just drag it back a little bit. Kind of helps. And then, did I not grab those? I thought I did. And then maybe push it over a little further. And then back into sculpting a bit. I keep I keep getting confused between ZBrush and Blender. I find myself doing ZBrush keystrokes in Blender, which isn't doing me any good in Blender. Oddly enough, I am in Smooth. I want to go to Brush, Draw, because I want to just pull that out a little bit. I want a little bit more through here. Great, seen a tutorial where Jay teaches about deforcing and cloth. Oh, me and Jay. Oh, you're not supposed to be up there. What are you doing there? I probably touched something while I was sculpting. Let's put you back there. Let's come into here and let's maybe smooth a bit. Am I not smoothing? I can't tell what I'm doing. It's supposed to be a men's shoe. That's the problem. I think I need to get this lip out further too. Somewhere in there, maybe. Oops, you're too strong. Let's dial that back. Well, if you ever have questions, feel free to ask. I may not be able to answer it, but who knows? Maybe I can. And I don't mind getting distracted in the middle of a stream to answer questions. You got funny again. I gotta go back and try to figure out what went wrong. Am my normals get flipped again? Let's go back to object mode and let's go back to here. And I just rebuilt those and they're being weird. Am I not seeing? Well, they're not flipped. Is there some sort of weird crease going on in here? If I apply, I'm going to just real quick. So if I apply that, what do we got over in here? Why is that? It's like there's something goofy going on with the normals. I'm just going to go back to here. Let me see. I already thought I controlled. I mean, do I like have faces on top of faces? I did there. Oh, so that was, I somehow got faces on top of faces. I think that's what's happening. And that's the wrong material. So let's try to apply the right material again. And then when I tab out, okay, that was it. Somehow I got extra faces up on there. All right, let's continue on with this. Do that. You know what? Can I just put a vertex crease in there? And put a vertex crease in there. This is some really janky ass mesh, so I think we'll fix that with a little bit of merging like that. And then I can get rid of this. And then I'll come over here. That's not as janky. But I mean, if I get rid of that and that, you know what? I'm probably going to live with that. Although, let me try a little relaxing with this. That helps a little bit. And then we'll maybe do the same thing over here. Kind of smooths it out a bit. I came around the wrong way. I wanted to go this way. Maybe not quite that much. Maybe we'll take you out, and then what if I relax? There's a point in there I can't. Where are you? Where are you? Nah, I'm not going to do that. Never mind. Probably good enough. I'm going to just keep tweaking the shape of this. At some point, I'm going to run a bevel through there and then bring that up so I can get a little bit of a I need to see the mesh. Let me see if I can show the wire. When I'm smoothing. That looks okay over there. I don't know. I might call that close enough. Although I do want to adjust this stole a bit. So let's work on that. Just to get that so it lines up better over there. So let's pop into edit mode. I think the idea is maybe I'll do it this way. See if I can drag these out a little bit. Maybe one question. The foot model you're using to model the shoe without tooth. Do I rig the shoe in? Oh, without toes? Is that what you mean? Do I... Let me see if I can... the foot model you are using to model the shoe is a simple one. Well, actually, I'm modeling against the Genesis 9 feet. But when I do rig it up in DAZ, I won't have individual toes. If it has individual toes, I'll remove them. So if I can, so it will have, so in DAZ has like the toe and then it has individual toes. So I leave the one thing that's a toe, which basically bends all the toes. But individual toes you don't need with a shoe. And and if it actually generates those, I'll go in and delete those bones. And it's probably a good idea to keep the feet visible in here so I can make sure I'm not clipping the toes too much. And I want my sole to be a little thicker. So I do. So if I make good progress in this, we can dump it into DAZ and rig it up. So that's kind of the plan. But I'm futzing around too much. I'm going the wrong way. I'm using the smooth. I don't want to use the smooth. I want to use the draw, and I want to pull that sock out from the foot like that. I'm going to model this with the sock attached to the shoe. You can hide the sock, but I don't want to make a real sock. Okay, so what I did want to do is I do want to... That's a nasty looking little doodad there. I'll fix that. So let's pop back over into edit mode. I don't know what the hell I did there. I'm not even seeing... Oh, I know. There's probably a bad... I can see there's extra points in here. Are there extra points in here? No, that looks good. Somehow... Yeah, somehow I got duplicate points in there. Let's turn the that off. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drag these off. Is that going the wrong way? And then I'm going to repair those. So is that, see, that looks good. So here, we'll just do a bunch of merge at last on these. I don't know how I did that. Probably I extruded something. All right, so that fixes that. That's better. That looks fine. That looks fine. I want to. I want this area here to be a little wider than what I've got right now. That's what I'm trying to repair right now. So I'm going to select that. I'm going to select that. We'll select that. And we'll just scale them up, but not on the X. So scale, but not on the X. So I can just pull it out kind of like that. So I have a little more edge that I can put, although that went a little wonky, didn't it? I'm gonna just do that scale, but not on the X. And then I'm just gonna fix through here. A bit like that. Maybe fix through here. A bit more like that. And then maybe take you in a little. And then the back got too. I think I just went too. No, I'm good. I'm good. Shit. And then we'll fix through here. Is that what I want? I think the front's still a little too far out. Through here looks a little too far. I'm going to turn off the. That helps a little bit. I'm getting there. I'm not in edit mode. There we go. You know, this X-ray. No, that I don't have X-ray. Never mind. Now I got X-ray. Da, da, da. Maybe I'll just rebuild the soul. I think I'm going to do that. That'll just be easier to get it done right. I'm just going to remove and just redo. It's probably easier to do it that way than it is try to futz around with getting the shape into the right. So there we go. That is good. And then what I'm going to do is reselect that. Can I just do a grid fill on that? Probably I don't. I probably don't really want to do a grid fill on that. Let me come back to here so I can kind of remember where my heels at. I want the heel right there. All right, now I can't. Never mind. All right, I'm going to delete all of that. I'm actually here. Let me do this before I I'm going to bridge this to here so I know where my heel is going to go. Just like that. Then I can Control L and delete all of this. And now I know where my heel goes. And then what I want to do is fill, and I'm going to put 1, 2, 3 cuts into here. And then let's just run this towards the front. And am I stopped at a point that makes for... Nope. I'll go back one and then I'll sort this out like that. All right, I'm going to put 3 cuts. 1, 2, 3. Now I just have to figure out how to get these closed. This one's easy. Although I'm going to end up with a try there. That'll be fine. Let's just fill that in. Fill that in. Does that work? Okay. And then my heel was what, somewhere right about in here. We'll pull that out later. I have a good spot for that. So for you, this actually has to kind of split to here and here. So I think I'm going to do that. And do I have too many things selected? And do that. Fill, fill, fill. Probably good. It's a little janky. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. All right. Extrude to give me a sole. Then we're going to put a heel back in here. But before I do that, I want to expand. I want to pull this edge out. And this is what I was trying to get, a nice even. Control F, extrude faces along normals. I'm just going to pull that out. And that gives me a nice even edge instead of what I was trying to futz around with. That works out. I should have just extruded that out to begin with. Never mind. All right, let's make this straight right through here because it got a little crooked. Also, you know what? I don't need this, so I'm just going to dissolve that out right now. And now I got, this should be straight through here, but just in case, I'm just going to run a G-stretch on it. Actually, I'm going to run a G-stretch on it, but we're going to tweak. We're not going to space evenly. I'm just going to project like that. And you know what? I think I'm going to pull these back just a little bit to give me a little bit of a curve in the heel. So just do a little chi-chi there. Do a little bit chi-chi like so. And then we'll just pull these out from here to here. Is that where I wanted that? Or I didn't want that up one? I actually want that up one. Never mind. All that work. And I'm in the wrong spot. Pull that back. Pull that back ever so slightly. And then these are the ones that I'm going to make a heel out of. Extrude. Pull down. Flatten. Look at it from the rear. So I want that to be right about there because I'm going to pull a little bit of a heel tip on that. Then we'll just adjust this to line up with that front. Now let's take a look at where we're at. I'm not crazy about that. Seeing if I want to do something to change it. I'm thinking if I merge you and I merge you, I'm not in edit mode right now, I'm in sculpt mode. Merge at center maybe. And then merge that at center. That's a little bit better. I can probably live with that. Is my general, am I happy with this? Do I want to accept one level of subdivision and detail it out a bit more? I'm thinking that's the plan. Yeah, all right, let's go ahead and come back over to object mode. Let's just switch to, and then let's Shift D that so I have a backup copy. Hide the backup copy, come back into here. I'm going to accept my subdivision level at this point. Control A, Control A, Control A, Control. There we go. This way I got a little more mesh to work with. I want to add detail right in here. And I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to do a little inset and then I'll pull that up. And why I got red points? Because I probably have a, oh, because my vertex creasing. So I'm going to get rid of all my vertex creasing right now. That could probably, did I not? I did. Why did I still got red points? Oh, there, right there. There we go. That should get rid of them, right? Yep. I'm not crazy about that. I hate shapes that are that close to becoming convexed. But that's just me. I think I'll just smooth that out a little. Let's select this. And then I'm just going to do an inset just so I can get that edge. And I'm going to pull that edge up a little bit. And I think I'm just going to see, I don't really need, do I need those? I don't need those. I did want that shape to be out further though. I need more, I should split through here. I'm going to do that. Can I, what's the, and then kind of curve that out a little bit. I always forget what the command for that is. Is it the edge split? It is the edge split. Okay. So I'm going to do the same thing over here. And I'm going to get rid of these, actually. Let's merge those out. And you went the wrong way. I wanted you to come this way. No, don't go over there. Come through here. Follow my voice. this way, damn you. All right, did I actually select? No, I still want to select through here. I want these. Then I'm just going to merge by distance. Merge by distance. I'm probably going to want to maybe a couple of millimeters. 0.002. That's pretty good. That's a little janky. Maybe we can just relax that a bit. That's good. These didn't get merged. I'll merge that to the last. That's good. Then what I think I'll do is I think I'll just grab these. We'll do a little proportional editing. I'll set it to maybe sphere. And just pull that out. And then I'm just going to curve that a bit. Maybe tweak you around. See, there's another Get rid of the that. See, that's a point, just sitting on an edge by itself. Maybe I'll leave that there. What happens if I come... Oh, and then let's clean this up. I didn't put my split in over here yet, did I? Edge split, edge split, edge split. There we go. And did I get the right one? No, I did not. There. Now I can get the right one. I'll just merge that with that one. We'll just slide you up this way. We'll just bring you back and up. Let's slide you down there. Yeah, that's giving me a bit more rounded shape. That'll do. Okay, so through here, I'm just going to lift these up just to give me that little, there's a little bit of a, is it just like a roundy seam thing? I don't know. And then I'll put sewing on either side of it. You want to miss. Why did you go that way? Why did you not come through here? There's probably something messing up with the shape in there. Did I make it? I made it. All right. I think I'll just do extrude on normals. Just pull that out a little bit. And then if I put one, we will eventually end up, I'm probably going to smooth it in DAZ, so I'm not going to worry too much about that here. Or will I? Or do I want to just, if I put another level of subdivision in here, I'm not going to put a subdivision, I'm not going to subdivide it in DAZ. I don't know, let's put one on for right now, and then I can decide to turn it on or off as I need later. Where's the, I'm in the form, I need to generate subdivision surface. That kind of, yeah, that'll be fine. All right, let's give a little bit of thickness to this and to this. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to dupe this and add a solidify modifier. And then I'm going to steal parts of the interior. Actually, I need interior up until about here. So let's Shift D that. Let's hide that, and I'm going to call you Penny Loafer Interior. Going to do that. I don't need the socks. We'll get rid of that. And I don't need, except that's connected to everything, is it? No, it's not. You're supposed to be sewn to something. Anyhow, I don't need that. I'm going to fill out the bottom again. So you know what? I don't need that. And do I need to go one more? Yep. And then this we don't need. And actually at this point, I'll do the subdivision. Or not the subdivision, we'll let it solidify. So actually let me take subdivision off. Let's add solidifies a, there we go, add a solidify. It's currently 10 millimeters. Let's make that 0.002. Let's make maybe 2 millimeters is way more than enough. I'm going to do a fill. Even thickness. think I'm going to make it a little bit thinner. And now when I accept this, before I accept this, I think I'm going to make a vertex group. Is that going to make things handier to select? Nope, that's his particle system. Damn it. No. There we go. I wanted that. There we go. Here, let's assign all of that to the vertex group. All right, now let me see how this works. If I apply that, pop in here, and come over here and select that. It selected everything, even the vertexes that weren't there when I made the group. Oh well, I have a trick. I'm just going to delete these edges out, and then that should let me. So can I just grab through here, and does all of that just delete? And then these now separated. They are not separated. They are probably stuck in here somewhere. Right through. Oh, there's a down here. Right. I forgot about that. It probably filled in this edge right through here. Doy. All right, now they should be. Delete that. So that's the interior of the shoe. You know what I don't want? I don't need you. I think you seem to be a separate material group that I can just select. Oh no, it's got part of the tongue. I do want part of the tongue. Maybe I grab you. Did you go all the way around? That worked. Okay, are you connected? Where are you? You look a little weird. I'm going to kill you. And I got another one over there, so let's get rid of that. And what I don't actually need it up in the toes. I only need an interior down to about here. And then I'm also going to add a sole. So while we're here, let's do boink, new. I'll say interior. Should be good. I don't know why that's creased up. So I can probably just delete off everything from here. Maybe not. Maybe I'll just leave it. Problem is when you're rigging it, it's liable to have the interior pop through the exterior. So if it's not there, it's probably a little bit better. I'm thinking, you know what? I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it for now. So now I just want to join this. And actually, let's get an insole in here too. And I'm going to try the same thing I did with the, where's the heel? I think it's right there, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that'll work. Let's run you across. Actually, and I lost track of where I was. I'm trying to there. to there. Did I select it? I was close. We're going to do that. And then I need 1, 2, 3, 4. And I lost track. Damn it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want 5 in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yay. Although what I should do is I should fill this out first. And I don't know. 1. So 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can probably take you up one more. Like that. All right, now I'm going to drop 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do that. Turn the X-ray off because now it's just visually freaking annoying. Do that. I'm not sure where my center point is, so let's do 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. And then fill and fill and fill and fill. Oh, that went all the way around. I wonder if I screwed this one up. That was a miss. There we go. Nope, that worked out. Anyhow, that's going to be the insole. Let's make that a new material. I'll just call you insole. Let's try that without the cap lock on. I still have cap lock on. Bad Chris. Bad Chris. And ISO. Insole. There we go. All right, let's take you. Come down to here. And assign you to insole. Let's do 3A. Let's reset the vectors. Should be good. Now I'm going to join this with the other one, and we're going to attach these edges. Is what we're going to do. So I'm going to make a copy of that. Hide that. Then we take these and Control J them and come into here. And then I'm just going to attach these at the edges. This one's going to be a little bit of janky. So can I got an edge there. And then I can put an edge. Nope. Why you know? What did I just select? I've got extra. Oh, I got an extra mesh in there. You die, you gravy sucking pig. All right, I want to connect. I want to connect that to that, right? And then there's this. There we go. We'll get over to the other side. There we go. And then I want to connect that like so. And then we'll just walk that around. I'm clipping the sock there. We'll fix that. All right, that's good. Now I got an edge. And we have our insole. So now we got some thickness in this. All right, let's pop this and make it thicker. I think what I should do with that is just dupe that and then seal the edge off. Control D, no, Control L, Shift D. I'm just going to pull that up for a second here. Control L. I'm going to flip to normal on that. Control L. And we'll just bring you back down like so. And then we'll just do that. And will that just run all the way around nicely? Whee! Okay, that worked out well enough. I need to put a slit in here. So we'll do an edge split, pull those apart and drop some depth in there. And at some point I'll actually put a penny or something in there. It looks like my center line right there. I'm going to put a little bit of a dip in here. I think I'll run my seam through there. So can I just do an edge split there? And then can we just drag? I'm trying to grab the ones on the downside here. And then just slide those a wee bit like that. Wee bit like that. I'm going to need some more detailing. You know what? I think I'll do an inset on all of these. I probably should have done that to begin with. Actually, can I still do that? Or does it just get weird? It gets a little weird. I should have done that before the edge split. Yeah, we're going to do that before the edge split. So we're going to go back. And then I'm going to do it an inset on this area here. Oh, that's... There we go. That is my... That's what I wanted. Gives me a little extra. And maybe what I'll do is I'll just put a bevel through here. And then drop that down. Kind of like that. And then I can just do it in... Actually, let me do a extrude along normals. And we'll push it in. Yeah, like that. And then I can kind of... I'll add some more detail in here. If I do an inset again through here. Why are you going that way? Why aren't you coming through here? Something looks like it got a little twisted. I can't see it. Let's turn the levels up. So why are you heading that way when you could be heading... You know what? I'm just going to select these one at a time. Except I can't click on what I actually want to select on. Also, you know what? I'm going to fix my clipping now that I'm zoomed in. 0.001. There we go. So I can see what I'm doing. Do that. And that. And so will my inset... Yeah, baby. That's kind of what I wanted. I'm going to put a little bit of shaping on the top and the bottom of that. I'm going to move these two, and then I'm going to adjust that. You didn't go the right way. Maybe I got to just baby steps. We'll bring you out that way. We'll bring you out that way. Take you over there. take you over there, and then what I can do is GG, and is it the Alt? Take you out that way. And we'll do the same thing. GG, and then hold the Alt key down so I can slide it out that way. And that's going to become the little divot. I'm getting some weird shading in here, though. I'm thinking. I don't really need these. I could probably just merge all of those out. And then worry about any weird shading artifacts I get from the strange shape I've got in here now. I'm getting stress. Does that help any? Not really. I mean, I don't know if that helps any. That helps a little bit. All right, let me do some creasing in here. Did I select the right thing? I did. Yeah, it's probably okay. I'm probably going to make that deeper and then just, or pull it out a bit. At some point, I'm going to model a penny. I should probably do that sooner than later. You know, I'm going to model the penny placeholder. Yeah, let's get a penny in there. How big is a penny? Size of a U.S. penny in millimeters, 19.05. With a thickness of 1.52 millimeters. We know what we can do this. Shift A. All right, Shift A. Mesh. Let's go ahead and just do a cylinder. Let's just stick with the default. Radius will be 19.05 divided by 2.009525. And you didn't 9525 with a depth of 0.00152. There we go. I have a penny. I'm going to tab in. We're just going to quickly mark the seams and clean us up just a little bit. Look at all those evil N-gons. Arc seam there. Arc seam there. If I get rid of you, and we'll just do a grid fill on that. And we'll just do a grid fill on that. There we go. Now we don't have N-gons. So I'm going to use that as a penny. Actually, let's call you Penny. And you know what? Actually, that'll be fine. Oh, I should probably mark one of these as a seam. Actually, I'm going to mark two of them. I'm going to mark the opposite sides. Um, can I just right click and say mark seam? That would be too easy. I always forget. There we go. That's better. That works. There's our penny UV mapped. I'm going to line it up on the loafer and adjust that hole a little bit. I think I'll get rid of the inside of it. And I think we'll turn the underside of the strap into interior. So back to layout, tab into edit mode, and I'm just going to bring you up here. I got to make my strap bigger, don't I? Damn it. My strap's too thin. My strap's too small. Dang, dog. What was I thinking? We'll just do a little proportional editing. Get that thing to fit better. And we'll just make sure, we'll just say linear and we'll do connected only, looking good. And then I'm just going to adjust that and then just pull this out. There we go. Probably good. Then I think, will that just wrap right around? Is good. I'm going to remove these faces in here. Oh, I'm in edge mode, aren't I? No, I'm not. Delete those. Is good. You know what? Control L. Let's call you strap just to make it easier. Swap. Assign. Strap interior. I'm going to make the underside of the strap interior. And we're going to select that by grabbing this edge and hiding it. Grabbing this top and hiding it. Selecting the inside and assigning it the strap interior. Excellent. All right, let's position our penny a little bit better. Okay, we're going to put you there. And you're going to come up to right about there. You know, penny needs a material. And damn it, somebody fat fingered the cap lock again. Here we go, copper. Am I in? I am in object mode. Let's reset the set origin to geometry. That'll help. That's better. Probably good. All right, now I just need to get the top part of the strap up over the penny. I still think I need to make that strap larger, don't I? That penny just looks huge compared to that foot. I used real world dimensions. Should be fine. Maybe I'll just make the strap a little bit larger. Alt H. Let's get all the hidden parts back in here. I probably... Am I still got proportional editing on? If I do, I'm going to turn it off in a second here. Yeah, let's turn that off for just a second. That way I can just kind of bring this up a little. And then I'm just going to adjust this part around here. That did not go the way I wanted it, because why would it? That's not what I wanted. Actually, here. Let's try that. Then can I expand you? Then can I just pull you up a bit like that? Probably good. I'm probably going to make that a little bit wider so you can see more of that coin in there. Little bit of proportional editing, I think. Get that over there. Grab these two and these two. And maybe pull that out that way a little bit. I think that'll be fine. I'm running a little... All right, let's join that with the rest of the shoe. Control. Like that. I want to bring this down a bit. But not too far. I'm just trying to close that gap down. That's probably okay. Now my penny's sticking out the back. I don't care. I think I'm going to call that pretty close. I should start breaking up UVs. All right, let me, once again, we're just going to do an old Shift D. Hide that, come into here. Take a look at my penny loafer. You know what? I should put a little bit of a strip in the back. I'm just going to pull these out. Kind of like that. I'm going to slide this bottom edge up a little bit. I don't think I grabbed it. I missed my bottom edge. My bottom edge is hidden on the inside there, isn't it? Dangity dang it. Somebody needs to, there we go. Nope, too far. I'm looking for right there. There it is. I want to bring those just so they're up like that. All right, let's start marking seams. Oh, did I want to pull? No, I think this is good. I think I'll have the rest of the detail. Although I do think I want to slide this edge over a hair. And then I want to pull this edge. Nope, this edge, that edge right there. Do the same thing. All right, now I'm going to put a seam through here. And you're going to run through there. I'm going to seam through here. I need to pull that out. Did I just mark? Yep, that's where I wanted that. Pretty sure I want to put a seam through here. Make sure I've got a seam running through there. I'm not sure if I selected the right. I did not. I want mark seam there. I don't know if you go all the way around or not. I don't think you did. You want to run a seam through here. You want to run a seam on the edge there. I want a seam on that edge. Oh no. Those got screwed up when I accepted subdivision because I didn't make it sharp. Oh, pooper scoopers. Scale Z0, and I've got I'll turn that off while I fix this. Scale X0, scale Y0. And G that into there. And G that to there. And I'm just going to run through and get these the same way. And then see if I need to flatten some stuff out. I thought I scaled X0 that, but I guess I missed, or I touched something. I sometimes forget to hit the enter key in between. All right, how are you looking? You're still looking a little off. So that's a little better. I think I can just flatten these, scale Z0, and then bring it back up. And do the same thing with this. The others aren't that important. And then just make sure that sits about in there. That looks like it's got a little off there. Maybe I can just G stretch that out. No, I need to I think that fixes that out a little bit. These should just be flattened like so. And same thing, we'll just scale this on the Z. Kind of fixes that up. That's a little off. Did I not? I did, but you needed to be tweaked a little bit. That's probably fine. That looks better. All right, I was marking seams. So let's get back to marking seams on this. If I'm not even done with this, I'll do a quick quickly get it in the DAS and set up the shoe. This has got a little bit of a bend in the foot, so I have to do the tricky rigging. So mark a seam there. 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 Coming along. I'm going to put a seam along here. Did that go all the way around? It did not. Missed. Missed again. I don't know if that. Nope. That looks like it don't got no seam. I'm probably going to get some sort of nasty bugaboo in here. I don't see a seam right there. I'll have to try to UV wrap this to see where I'm missing seams. I think I need something in here. And actually, let's put a seam on the back of the sock. Let's pop over to the UV editing. You know what? I don't need a sharp through here. Um, 3AU. Unwrap. Oh! Okay, so I probably need to tweak. What do I need to tweak here? Control L. So that looked good. Control L. That's got a one little bogus point there. So what I need to do is I think I just need to mark a seam right there. That's better. We're getting there. That's the sock. What are you? Oh, you're probably the interior. Yeah, let's put a couple of seams on here. Put a split down the back. Okay. All right, I think I've got decent UV mapping there. Tried to model a Croc shoe in the meantime, but got only the sole done. Yes, practice makes perfect. Even in that, even with all my experience, I still find myself fuddling around with shapes all the time. But yeah, nothing like making shoes 100 times to start getting good at it. Maybe not 100, but it's probably, I don't know. I'm trying to think. I want to say well over 20, maybe 50. And I don't know. I mean, modeling with simple shapes and then working in your detail. I did make some Crocs, and someday I might actually finish those up. I should probably put a seam back in here and let those break apart. I'll mark seams there, and I'm going to mark seam on the other side. I'm going to split these up into materials later on. I think for right now, though, I've got 15 minutes left, so I'm going to quickly rig this in DAZ. We'll do that, and then we'll call it a day. I'm marking a seam. I'm marking a seam. I keep forgetting in the UV editor, I have to come over here. And I think 3A U unwrap. I like that a little bit better. Okay, so for what I'm going to do, I have UV Packmaster. I'm going to bring that up. I'm going to UV this so that it's only in half of the thing. So then when I mirror it, I can flip the other UVs over here. So with Packmaster, I'm going to go to Advanced Packing. I'm using my custom target box. I'm going to edit my target box, and I'm going to set that to be just half the map, and then I'm going to use UV Packmaster to pack into that. It is a paid add-on, but it's definitely, just for this one feature, it's worth it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and export this out real quick. But before we do that, of course, we need to shoe on the other side. And that's where we're going to add in another modifier. The good old mirror modifier, right? And we're going to do this on the mirror modifier. Come over here to data. And we're going to mirror those UVs so that these UVs get flipped. And now this has UVs. I'm going to export this out. Bum, bum, bum. Penny Loafer. 02. Actually, let's say G9. I think this is G9. I hope it's G9. Selection only. And export that. All right, let's pop open DAZ. The foot's posed ever so slightly. I want to say like 5 or 10 degrees. So we're going to do that. And I can never quite remember how to do shoes, so I have a PowerPoint that has my instructions in it. Rigging shoes in DAZ Studio. There it is. Best viewers. Hell yeah, I got the best viewers. F&A, Bubba. But you're a bot, and despite the fact you said I got the best viewers, we're going to have to whack you. Sorry, it's the law. Whack a bot. Whack a bad bot. Where's the bot? I'm in the wrong thing. Let me open up my Twitch over there. I have to go into my, let me open up my Twitch over there. Oh, now I can hear myself. Oh no, not me. There it is. There it is. Bye, bot. All right, let's do this. Did DAZ Studio open up yet? There's DAZ Studio. All right, this hopefully it's for Genesis 9. All right, let's load in our shoes. I think you're my import button that I put on the side of my toolbars. Let's go over to projects. Let's go to the 50s. Let's go to Letterman. Am I in the wrong 50s? I might be in the wrong 50s. Am I on the wrong drive? I'm on the wrong drive. There's my problem. Once again, I have inadvertently gone to the M drive instead of the D drive. There we go. That's better. Letterman, that's what I'm looking for. Whip. Penny loafers, G9. There's what we just exported out. It's not lining up. Oh no. Oh no. Whose foot is in there? That's a G9 foot post. I wonder if I accidentally did that with the feminine. Oh. Let me check real quick. No, that doesn't even fit. I have no idea what I was doing. I'm going to pose this foot. Everything always goes amiss. This is maybe, probably just did a 5. Yep, I'm going to do a 5. So then we'll take the toes. Where's my toes? Right foot, right toes. We'll do the toes at -5. We'll mirror it to the other side. Right to left, except that. Okay, I'm going to export you out. Projects. Genesis. Where am I? 50s Letterman whip. G9 foot pose. I'm going to save that again. Let's hide you. Let's import. You're still lining up. Was my scaling off? Is that what happened? Let's import again and just double check. My scaling may have been changed from something I was working on. No, 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 no. Cancel that. Cancel that. I want to do an import again, not an export. Stimpy, you fool. Oh, there's my problem. I accidentally scaled it. There we go. That's better. Now we're ready to rig. Okay, we'll get this rigging started and call it a day. So I'm going to pop over to my instructions, which I just went past. All right, import the shoes. Copy the current selected hidden parameters. Come over here. So here on the Genesis 8, we say currently used. These things are the currently used hidden parameters. Alt print screen, because it's easier to copy that way. Control B, Control B. We're going to do this. So now I have those settings copied right there. Bake joint rotations and then reset the JCMs back to these values. So we are going to come here to the joint editor, edit, bake joint rotations. And then we're going to come and reset these back to these values here, 7.7, 7.7, 7.7, 8.3, 8.3. Okay. Reset the, okay, use the transfer to utility. So now we're going to rig this to that. So Genesis 9 favorites, penny loafers, accept. Okay, 0 JCMs on the shoes. Select the shoes and set these all to 0. Reverse the Genesis pose. All right, so we're going to take the right foot and we're going to pose that. We bent it 10, so we're going to bend it back 9, -10 now. -5. We did 5, -5. And then we did the toes, -5 or 5, like that. I'm going to mirror that over to the other side. Should be good. Okay, here's where I deviate from my instructions. All right, now I've got a shape that fits this. I'm going to export out the shoes again. So we export the shoes. I'm going to call you Penny Loafers 02. Save that. Accept that. All right, we're going to hide you. We're going to load in another Genesis now. One that we didn't break the rigging on. All right, we're going to import in our OBJ. This one right here, that's the one that fits this shape. All right, I'm going to just use the transfer tool. And Genesis 9, not that one, this one, and those penny loafers. And I can use a transfer footwear template. There we go. Accept that. And that should be most of the work. We might touch up the weight maps, but we may not need to. So now if I take a look at the shoes, and if we go into the join editor, see, it's got these extra toes that I would delete. You don't really need these. So can I just delete those? Delete bone. Delete bone. Delete bone. Delete bone. All right, it's good. And then I got to do that to the other side. At least it didn't make a... It only made one bone per toe instead of two. Delete bone. I just clicked on the wrong thing. Do I have one more bone in here? I do. There it is. All right, there's the beginning of the shoes. Do I have a content library for this? I'm probably going to redo these, but there's a Letterman folder. People. I'm not making a Genesis 8 version. This is just going to be Genesis 9. So I'm just going to save that. Oh, I got a pose in here. I just applied it to the shoes. Let's not do that. You know what? That looks okay. There's not a lot of bending in there, so I probably don't have to clean up the rigging too much. Yo, DJ Stulu, how are you doing? All right, let's get these saved out for now, and we'll probably call it a day. Let me change the name of that so it just says Penny Loafers G9. Dum, 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 dum. All right. Oh, it already says I got a copy in here. You know what? I don't need the other copy anymore. I'm just going to delete that, and then we're going to rename this. And my brain stopped. Here, we'll save that as a figure prop asset. In the 50s, in the Letterman, people, Genesis 9, clothing, me, 50s Letterman G9, 50L, penny loafers G9. Do that. Me, the product is, I don't have a 50s Letterman footwear, all that except that is good. All right, so that's basically, I may be ready to texture this, or I may go back and check the modeling a bit more. So if I put a smoothing modifier on it in here, edit geometry, convert to sub D. That didn't do a whole lot because the mesh is kind of high anyhow. I'm going to tweak the shading a little bit to maybe get that crease to look a little better. I'll put my generic shader on there. And we'll pop down here to the angle, and I'll just change that to that. So I'm getting sharper, little sharper creases. And I think I'm going to call it here for the day because it's just past 4. Hey, thanks for popping in, Stu. Good to see you. So I don't know if Matthias was able to follow any of that rigging or not. it's it goes kind of quick. So I'm gonna call it a day here. It's 4 o'clock. We're gonna go find somebody to raid. Thank you all for being here. And then I gotta go complain to YouTube for flagging a public domain cartoon as copywritten. So I hope you'll have a good rest of a Monday. I will be back tomorrow at 7 p.m. I may still be working on the shoes or other parts of this Letterman outfit. So we'll see how that goes. Hey, also, are you in my Discord, by the way? I can drop a copy of my half-ass. Problem is these instructions I deviate from nowadays. And I've gotten lazier, but it doesn't seem to make a big difference. Anywho, let's find somebody ready to call it a day. I think it says I got actually 4 viewers. Matthias, DJ Stulu, Charles, who's probably sleeping, and a bot. There's probably, or maybe a bunch of bots. Maybe it's not Charles sleeping. Maybe it's just a bot. Anyhow, who's on in the who's? Hey, if you're on YouTube, like Matthias, thank you for being here. Like and subscribe. That would be awesome. If you're on Twitch, we're gonna go find somebody to go hang out with, and we'll do that. Dum dum dum. So who's on? Who's on the Twitch first? And why is my Twitch order all goofy AF? We're scrolling down. We're scrolling down. We're scrolling down. We're scrolling down. I'm near the bottom. I'm going to scroll back up and I'm going to see if any of the art friends are on. And then barring that, we will, if I don't find an art friend, we'll just go over and say hi to Cliffy. Cliff Stalling Music is a good friend who I don't see as much as I used to. It says he's doing music today, so that's kind of cool. He also games. And he's just an all-around cool cat. So I think that's our choice. We're just going to go over. You have subscribed. Thanks. So let's go. So if you're on Twitch, let's go over and say hi to Cliff Stalling Music, a super cool cat doing music. He's been on for 2 hours, so he may be calling it soon. Anyhow, let's do this. Hey, I have a Discord. Feel free to join. I sell stuff at Daz. Feel free to buy. We have raid calls. If you can join the raid and you're not a sub, use that one. If you are a sub, you get to use the sub raid call because you are cool. And /raid. Like I said, I will be back tomorrow, 7 p.m. Tuesday. More 3D modeling stuff. So I hope you all have a good rest of a Monday or Tuesday for those on the happy side of the planet. And hasta la vista, baby.